Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
And good evening to all our listeners. This is your host Suresh, and today we have on our show a person who runs a successful automobile garage. The garage is ISO 9001 certified, and it's completely run in a corporate style management with, taking good care of the employees and, making sure the customer, is completely satisfied. And it also provides training to both men and women mechanics or future prospective mechanics. But the most exciting part or most fascinating part of this garage is the person who is behind this whole endeavor, and that's the woman, Vidya Nambirajan. Vidya, welcome to NRISamay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, and hello, everybody.
So Vidya, this is, when I was reading about you, and I was reading about, the garage itself, the Paramount Auto Bay Service.
Auto Bay Service.
Right. So
yeah.
It said that it's, ISO certified, and it's how, you have a lot of things automated, and you take care of a lot of things using the machines and all those things. But when I read about who is actually behind this, it really, I had to correct myself and see that, did I read it correctly? And I'm sure you must have gotten this kind of a reaction many times during this your career. So how did this whole thing start?
Yeah, Suresh. This is a 25-year-old garage started by my father way back in '88. And I'm not an automobile engineer, and I took over in 2001, and I can say I took this by default, because I belong to a corporate background totally. After my studies, and I was into HCL. Later, I was into a company called Annapurna Foils. And that took me to Chennai. Anyway, that's a long story. I was there. I had a corporate background. And when I came back to Hyderabad in 2001, my dad took ill. So, I was to just handle for a day or two. It became a month, 2 months, 3 months, and then that's it. I would have wasted about 1 year not understanding what I'm going to do here, because all I knew was driving. That's it. And then after that, I started, after that, I think things just set in. When you're thrown into the water, you need to swim or you get drowned.
Right.
No option, right?
Right.
So I chose the other one. So I said, no, let me swim. And that's how. And now it's been 13 long years in this. And I can tell you one thing. The other line, any other line for a woman would have been a cakewalk. Not that it's difficult, but still. In this line, but I had a real tough time. Just when I took over, some of my employees left, because they were not too comfortable reporting to a female. And, and mechanics, how their thought process goes and things like that. And some customers also must have, can this woman deliver? Can she do it? And that's how I started learning. And literally, I had formed my own team. Then I understood, when I took over from my father, the technology had changed, and ECMs were in, everything was software controlled. And even the technician had to be trained, so that's when I bought an engine scanner. I just understood the need of the industry then. If I have to continue this, then I had to upgrade. So I got this scanner, and that brought in a lot of change, because the scan only I used to use it. So obviously, once you start reading the parameters and every day you do it, you get to understand a bit. And that's how, way back in 2006, again, using my marketing experience, I went around talking to other companies. In fact, I tied up with my TVS, India Assistance, just requesting them, why don't you try us once? And in fact, I had a lot of good shows too, cams on the road with a banner. Those days I'm talking of. Yeah, today I have good set of customers with me. And and learning process was quite difficult. I'll tell you why. As I told you, it's a cakewalk in the other line in this, no. Because anything that I would want to change, if my mechanic had said, see, this has to be changed, he would have said, yeah, go ahead, please. And if I say that, he wants to know why, Where does it come? What is the function? How does it work? And how does it go? You know, so one has to be equipped. Yeah. Like here, it's totally technology, right? You can't even bullshit and come out of it or something, right? So I had to know. So I did learn, and most of them, let me tell you, like, you know, it's on the floor I learned. It's not the books or anything. Yes, I did connect them to it later, but it's literally on the floor. And that's when I realized, you know, it's not a tough thing at all. All is it, and what I did, I got my garage totally automated by, you know, getting in some pneumatic tools, so that even women can operate, you know. In this line, what is it like? It's that physical strength what we lack, like to open a wheel or to open any other thing. So when you have these kind of tools, pneumatic tools, or I have a longer wrench, you know, it's easier. So the first thing I had to counter was this. Then the next challenge I had to face was, you know, when I employed the female here, a girl here, she too was not so comfortable because it's a mental make. Even the other guys would think, what can she do? Why is a girl in this? But slowly, you know, initially involved them in washing, and slowly I started involving her, you know, in servicing or changing oil. And in fact, I would always tell them, like, this is not rocket science. This is something, you know, application of mind with knowledge. But of course, you need to learn, apply, and any mechanic, I'm sure, whether it's a woman, man, one would agree, like, you know, you need to have eagle eyes. Like, observation is the main thing here in any car. Like, when you have a problem, that's the main thing, because preventive maintenance is something that runs by a schedule. So that's already given in the books. But the rest I'm saying, like, you know, it's an observation, it's your application of mind, and that's how. So that's why I made the difference. And I did upgrade, I told you, like by having the latest equipments, because, you know, that also saves on time, labor, makes it simpler, doesn't make it sound very difficult. So that's it. And that's when I thought, okay, why don't I have a ISO certification too? It makes a difference, you know. A lot of guys who just take it and, oh, we are ISO certified. But I can proudly tell you, like, I do maintain my garage according to that only. Like, anytime, anywhere, you open any of my documents, any of my rack, things will be in order. So that's it. And so that's how I've been doing it.
Right. Yeah. You said so it all started like 13 years ago in 2001. So when you had this, you know, thought cross your mind that, oh, you now have to take this seriously, and I'm sure there are a lot of barriers that you had to cross, right? Some of them being this is a completely male-dominated you know, profession, and it's not only that. I would imagine even the customers would probably think twice, saying that, okay, this is a woman mechanic here. Do I really want to trust, you know, my car with her? Is she going to, you know, do justice to all the money that I'm going to spend here? So, and also what you briefly touched upon is the people working at the garage themselves, they have to also respect you.
Yes.
So how did you sort of come over this barrier, which is, you know, completely male-dominated? You get over that?
This is, I can tell you, it was a never-give-up attitude, because let me tell you, as I told you earlier, when I took over, the boys left, some customers left. Like, it was so discouraging. But yes, my father was always there to encourage me and never lose hope, right? And slowly when I started, and as I told you earlier, knowledge. In fact, I'm not being arrogant or something. My name says it all about my success. It's Vidya Nambirajan. You know, Vidya is knowledge. You trust knowledge, and you're a king in any field, in any way. So that's the only thing I did was equip myself, made myself technically sound. And, you know, and as I told you, I upgraded my garage and motivated people to join me. See, respect comes in only when you have knowledge. right?
Right.
When I can
Right.
tell my boy, this is the problem with this and this is what you got to do, that's when he listens to you. And it took me years. Let me tell you, it took me years, about 4-5 years. In fact, the neighboring garages also wouldn't kind of, respect, oh, that garage, they're very good at washing or something. That's it, mocking at us and things like that. So I faced a lot of challenges. I did face a lot of challenges, and it was so difficult moving ahead. But as I told you, like my tie-ups brought on the change because the locally, other garages where the girl runs it, she won't know anything, and the customers also, she may not, all those things. It's only once I started upgrading, and when I tied up with my TVS, it brought in a major change. I started doing multi-brand cars, and I got in this engine scanner. Even till date, I can tell you very proudly, in and around 12-kilometer radius, nobody has a scan. And some showrooms do have it for their respective brand, whereas mine is a multi-brand. So even the other garages started coming to me to scan their car or if they have a problem. And even now I can tell you, like, there are mechanics from the other garages who call me and say, Madam, this is what is the problem. What do I do next? How do I fix it? The same guys would have said, all they can do is washing. He's the guy who calls me today to check on how do I go about it now.
Right.
So, it's over a period of time, and I have gained this knowledge, and I have gained the respect in and around my place. And definitely, I'll tell you, it was difficult. It was just not easy.
Right.
But I never gave up, ever gave up. That is the one which, wherever I am today, it is because of that attitude of mine, I would say, and my dad's encouragement, of course, my family too. Okay, there were times it was a hand-to-mouth living too. It was that bad. From there, I had to pick up and come all the way. And now I really want to show people, I want to show the world, yes, women can do it, And in fact, I intend setting up small garages, like maybe make a franchisee of my company, give my franchisees to women who I train, so that at least I put up a washing center there, so slowly they can do at least the servicing and earn a living out of it, and they can employ another set of women, and that's how the society would improve. I'm sure my little contribution to the society, maybe 1%, yes, it will make a difference, I'm sure.
Right,
That's what I want. I want women to come in. Women to come in and run on their own and be financially independent too, especially in that lower strata. You know what happens. So, in fact, when they have complaints, I always tell them, never keep saying, who didn't do what can you do? That's the change I give. And I strongly believe in that, What can I do for you? That's it. Like, not what did someone do? Like, he did this, he said that. No, what can you do? So, that's how the women, and they need to be motivated too. Because a man cannot accept her as a mechanic. That I've noticed even now. They just cannot accept, oh, you're going to do the car. But first thing what I did, I get my boys also settle men, my boys also respect them. And in fact, they train them. Today, very confidently, I can tell you, the boys say when a car comes, he tells my girl mechanic, hey, you take care of the servicing, I'll do the other repairs. Chalo, at least that's the difference. At least we've got that today.
Right.
So about 60-70% of the work in the garage is handled by women here now, today.
Right.
And efforts are on to make it 100% too. I mean, it will come in. Maybe it's going to take a few more years, but I'm very sure there will be a day when it will be all women run branches too of Paramount. And that's my ambition, to see women in this line.
Yeah, that's
and they're independent, basically,
Right.
Yeah.
You also said that it all started to change once you tied up with TVS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that happen? I'm sure that they must also have had the same doubts, as in
yes.
really run the garage. So how did they, or how did you manage to convince them to give you a chance?
Yeah, that was a wonderful question. In fact, even TVS, he was not so convinced. And I went over to him and I said, even he was starting shop here, like, it's quality used cars division. So where they would buy cars, refurbish it and sell it, right? And that 1 year maintenance they would sell. So that's when I entered there. And in fact, I requested them, I really followed up with them. I got him here. And he said, no, it's too small and we won't look at you stuff. I said, please try at least giving me 1 or 2 cars, I personally used to go there, bring the car, get it repaired, go and deliver it myself. And I did this about a couple of times, and he thought probably, okay, why not? So, and another thing, they were calling the shots though then, because even for me it was a learning point, so I didn't mind. So that's how it happened slowly, and he started trusting us. And when he saw my equipments and other things, he felt, yes, probably she can do. So that's how it started, and it's a multi-brand garage today. And then they sold that, when they sell the car on a 1-year warranty, so the customer's with me. So he comes back to me. After that 1 year also, whether if I had done a good service, obviously he's with me, right? So that's how it happened. Yes, it was difficult convincing my TVS too, because they told me I'm too small, I don't have enough bays. I'm an 8-bay workshop. So he was saying that. I said, please give us a chance. Just try us once. At least give me servicing part, So service, that is a preventive maintenance, Why don't you give me that? Just check out once. We did that, and he was quite happy. Even the spares, let me tell you, when it was, they were so particular about what kind of spares do I use, do I know if it is original, or, all those things happen in this line, how it is in an automobile line. So, all that. But, how I look at it and take it, thanks, it's because of their, them I've learned so much. Every single thing, if they had pointed out, oh, this was not there, that was not there, I didn't take it as a criticism. I took it as a lesson. And that's when all the corrective steps, and even if you have the gadgets, but at least you should know how to operate and what it is, right? So that one thing I had to prove it to them. So when I did it myself, so we were convinced, he was convinced. To that extent, I started getting all the cars, they started giving it to us. Of course, now today it's a different thing. Today we are established and we are doing in our, people do come to me from different areas to get the car done. And this is purely on trust. It's on trust. And I can promise you one thing, once they come into my garage, he's my customer forever. That's there. That's the kind of service we do. And we are more quality conscious here. And being a girl, as I told you, I'll be, whatever I do, a guy does it, a mechanic does it, it's different. But whatever I do, it will be under a microscope, So really, whatever I do is under a microscope. It's like that, he views it back. And had a normal mechanic given it to him, I'm sure he would have taken a trial and said, oh, fine, thanks, boss, and that's it. But here, don't you think the left side there's a noise? Don't you think this side there's a noise? Just small stuff. And again, I would go there, do it, and those kind of things. Yes, even till date, let me tell you, this goes on. Whenever, there are few people who still do it, If I do it, is everything okay that way? So I will thank them. Frankly speaking, I will thank customers like them. It's because of them I'm here today, So as I told you, I never took it as a criticism. I just took it as a lesson. I learned the hard way.
That's good.
That's what
now, you also said earlier that you're also training other women, teach them how to do it, and also you briefly spoke about extending your garage in the form of franchisee and having other women people there. So so two things, right? So when you approached the women and said, hey, here is my garage, I'm running this, I'd like to train you guys, what was their reaction? And I'm sure I'm sure it didn't come natural to them, right? They must have also had a lot of apprehension.
Yeah, absolutely right. In fact, you won't believe, I had gone into the Basti, that's slums, I went in there myself and checked. I used to speak to those women there, and I used to tell them I run a garage, why don't you come? Okay, they knew me here in and around this place, and that's when I got about 10, 15 of them, and only 2 stayed back. That's the kind of a ratio, because even for them, their mindset has to change. Yes, I can do it, That's the first thing they need to have. It was quite difficult for me there also. As I told you, if I got in 10, 2 stayed back, they would come. They would say, no, I'm not under, it's a, I don't know, it's a block, Their mindset is such. which I needed to change. So that's when I understood. And another thing is, see, everyone cannot become an entrepreneur, right? They're scared, like I set up and nothing happens and all. So that's when I got this idea. Like I said, why don't I? Like I'll be a brand one day, and this is how I can be. Maybe I'll set up the, branches, the franchisee there. Like set up a washing center, at least to start with, washing and things like that. So this woman, once we do it, even the men folk will get into this loop. Like they will be aware of it, and I'm sure they will encourage us. But these women need to do it now, frankly speaking. So that's what they need, their motivation and things. It's going to be a hard job. It's going to be hard because, see, the educated ones, the ones who've done their BTech or even their diploma in engineering, they would come. But they will never take this as their career, that also needs a change, frankly speaking. Even if I have checked with showrooms too. When they're taking these BTech girls, they are in for a year and then they get married and they're away because they don't want to make this a career,
Right.
So, yes, that also is going to be a problem. And that's a challenge of faith, I guess. Retaining them in the field. More than training, it's retaining them in this field. And which I've successfully done with at least 4 girls till date. 2 of them are still with me. The other 2 have already moved on. And very soon in Tirupati I will be having, because I got some girls from there who are now, I'm starting training the second batch, on the July 10th. So I'm sure by August you must be seeing another branch there and with girls. No, my ambition is that, my goal is that, like I want to run a all-women run workshop, a garage.
I see.
So let's
Very
see.
nice.
Let's see how far I'm successful, but I'm not going to lose hope,
Right, I'm sure. Also having a woman as a boss is one thing, but having a woman colleague in a male-dominated thing is a totally different thing, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I'm sure there are a lot of practical problems as well that you might be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Now, you also spoke about that. But does this happen even now, like after all these years? Does that kind of thing happen in your garage, or that thing of
No. Now it has totally changed. Earlier it used to be like that. My chief mechanic would tell me, "What can she do? Why are you bringing her in? What can she do?" I don't know. Let her do the cleaning part. He'll say, cleaning the garage. Then I'll say, give her a chance, let her do it. So like that. But today, see, like you got used to them, and they cannot do without them. Seriously. Because these guys have forgotten how to wash a car, I guess, how to do servicing, because they're so used to them. And one thing, yes, they've understood. Even for these guys to accept them, it took time. That's very true, yeah. For these guys to accept them as colleagues, it took a lot of time. And now they're interested and, give them jobs. Yeah. These guys have to change their mindset. I need the men also to support here. Because a woman who I got from the slums and all, she used to go back home. But see, the 8 hours what she's with me, she's always motivated with me, and, she's on a high. But you go back home and you come back, it's the same thing, right? So the guy is not able to accept her as a mechanic. So I've lost 2 of them like that. My husband is saying, what is this? How can you do a car? So that's what the family also needs to support. So probably that's another challenge that I'm facing today. And I need support that side, because these women need their family support, without which she cannot continue working here. But I'm sure, like by next month, as I told you, because I'm training some more girls here, so I really want to put it up. In fact, I keep telling my mechanics also. And by the way, in and around my area, the mechanics who come to me for training, so I have told them also how, like, to accept women in as an employee and how well she can do it and what can she do and how much of your load she can take off. And one of them is, I must say, like, she's agreed, and I told them, you at least bring in your sister or you bring in your wife. Like, if you don't want another woman in there, bring in them, start. Just let's make a start, because she can manage your back and office at least, if not anything. So, of course, because of that, one guy has gotten his wife also here to work. So it was quite encouraging, So I told them, like, mainly what they'll be worried about their women, are they safe there, and, interacting with so many customers, all those small petty issues. Probably the family also has their own reasons for not sending their women in the line. But any line is the same, yeah? She's going to face this risk, challenges, if at all you think they are, it's going to be there in any line.
Right.
But in this, I would like to, let's see, I'm just trying my best to bring in women here.
Yeah.
So at least we are there.
And you also said that you bought a lot of these pneumatic machines and other kinds of automated things, so that the women can find it easy to sort of work with them. Now, financially, has this been like? Did you ever feel that this is financially not viable for you to bring in this kind of automation? Because for a normal garage, you have men doing all the things, so it's definitely not that expensive.
Yeah.
How much of this has been a financial burden for you?
It is the financial burden. It is. Like, especially the recent tools and all. In fact, I had gone, Bank of India supports me, of course. We've gone for a huge loan and I'm doing it. And in fact, I've explained to the boys, the girls also, like, this is what it is and why I've automated the whole thing. One is to help you girls, and one is to even the guys, help them, because labor, as I told you, we save one time. So labor, so, we can take in more cars and do things. Yes, financially it is a burden on me as of today, but I'm sure, like, I will overcome this also very soon. And I have got these tools and everything. As I told you, it is to help the women, basically women, so that they get interested in the work. Otherwise, you ask them to open a tire, and when they don't, they get demotivated, right? If they take too much time opening it. With this pneumatic gun, one shot out, and they're very thrilled. They want to do the other tire too. It's a part of a motivation thing for me. And financially, as I told you, I'm on a loan. And the boys and the girls to know it, and we need to work more, earn more to pay up. And that's exactly what I keep telling the girls also. I will set up branches, like, that self-help groups, how they have, and let's see. And in fact, I keep telling these women, like, I don't know if I can say this, but I would really want to tell you that these politicians are the ones who spoiled our people here. I'll tell you, by, giving them 5,000, 10,000 at a shot during the election time or some other time. So they used to easy money. You understand? So they don't want to come here and work the whole month to earn the same amount, 5,000 or 6,000. But that's where I tell them, okay, he comes and gives you 10 or he gives you 20. You run your life for how many months? 3 months? 4 months? After that, what? So you need a livelihood, So that's where I come in. That's where I'm trying to tell you, girls, like, we set up something, and you start earning your own money. So that's also, because I'm trying to break that. This has been a huge chain or cycle. Very difficult to break this, but at least I took an effort, like, to change this.
No, it's definitely it's definitely very welcome change that is needed, that, women take up more space. And prove, like you said earlier, you cannot afford to make mistakes because you'll be judged more. There'll be more scrutiny than anyone else.
Exactly, more scrutiny here. And straight away under a microscope, that's what I told you. Whatever I do. And fair enough, like, because it makes you good, like, seriously. And even the automobile industry operates on one formula, fix it right the first time. So, automatically it happens.
Is that your tagline too?
Sorry?
Is that your tagline as well?
No, I would like to.
First time.
First time, yeah. The industry believes in it. They follow that. And for me, it is this. I fix it right the first time.
Right. Before I let
because
you go.
I'm the
Is there any incident that or any anecdote that you'd like to share of a customer who thought he could not trust you with your car, but then he changed his perception? Were there any? Can you share any of such incidents?
So there are lots of them, yeah. Like, there are lots of them. And yeah, they've been encouraging me a lot, frankly speaking. There's the guys who've gone, I should say this too, like the guys who left us, then have come back to me today. They have come back to me today. They've come back to me, and I have people coming in from about who drive down about 100 kilometers just to get their car serviced. There's some these young pilots who are on a training, and but one thing, let me tell you, most of my customers are the guys who are interested in cars, who know about cars.
I see.
So those are the ones who know what I am doing, and they appreciate what I do, and they know, yeah, she's right. So
I see.
Yeah, I feel good, like when they drive down some 100 kilometers just to get their car serviced. It's a feeling. It's definitely a good feeling. And I have a lot of customers, armed forces too here. And, when these guys get transferred, the next guy who comes in already knows me, because that guy would have said, you go to Paramount and get your car done. There's a lady there.
Right.
So it's more of my business runs on more of word of mouth. And one, as I say, seeing is believing. Once you see us here at work, yes, you'll know, yes, there is a quality work on here.
Right.
And sincerity is there, yeah, and sincerity is always there.
Right. That's very nice. So, Vidya, where exactly is your garage, and is there a website that people can refer to so that our listeners
Yeah.
reach out to you?